You can start the recording side. Okay. Now, yesterday I forgot to share this EDA roadmap. Okay, exploratory data analysis. So this is basically the steps. Okay, and focus area, and the description what we are doing in each of these steps. Okay, in EDA. So every I mean, if you see, every task will have some steps, right? If you see, if you are going to a movie, first thing is what is the task? You will plan for a ticket. Okay, and second, then you will plan for a travel, and then you will reach on time, and then watch the movie and whatever, and then you'll return back, right? So every task that we do in our daily life, right, it has some steps and focus areas. Okay, similarly here in EDA we have steps and focus area and the respective description. Okay, so this we know, understanding data, import and inspect data. We know this how to do this. Okay, info, shape, describe, and head. Okay, missing data. Yesterday we have seen detect and handle NAN. Okay, NAN stands for not a number. Identify missing values, decide drop, impute strategy. Okay, today we'll see data type and consistency check. Okay, we'll see how to ensure what is the focus areas, ensure clean data type. Okay, for example, you might see some columns will have some examples like object, right? So for example, date and time. Okay, timestamp, it will have, it will you'll get it in a object type, and then you have to convert that into a date and time format so that you can build your visualization based on the chart. Like if you are choosing a chart, time chart, time charts and all, right? So if you have a proper date and time format, then only it will work. Otherwise, it will throw an error. Okay, and also removes duplicates. Okay, so this is one which we will see, and tomorrow we're gonna see descriptive statistics. Okay, and then outlier is very important. Outlier detection treatment. Then analysis, univariate, bivariate. Univariate means single column analysis. Bivariate is comparing two variables. You have two columns, like for example, this is one column, this is one column. You will do the analysis comparing these two variables. Same thing, multi means more than three variables. Okay, and feature engineering, creating new useful. Say for example, you have three columns, one, two, three. Okay, out of this three, you will create one more based on this. Okay, say for example, just a product details. It has uh, I mean, how much you have spent to uh, make that product. Okay, and then the selling price. So if you want to see the profit, what you will do is actual product in making minus selling price. Then you will get a profit. So you'll create something called profit here, and then you will add. So that is called feature engineering. Create new useful columns, ratios, flags, bins, uh, encoding, categorical variable, and all that. Okay, and finally we'll build our data visualization and insights, and you will describe or tell your story, okay, on your data, like trends, correlation, patterns for decision. Okay, so these are 10 steps that you will have to do it for any data. So when you do this with the raw data, right, I'm telling you, you will get some meaningful insights within your data. Okay, so just copy cell, if I can add here. No. Okay, so it is working here. Why not it is working here? Hmm. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay, no problem. What I'll do is I'll figure it out why it is not copying later on. Okay, so first thing first, we'll see this is one of the EDA step. I think this is step 3. Okay, I'll write it down. Is EDA step 3. Okay, data type and consistency check. Okay, now what is a data type and consistency check? Okay, so if you have seen yesterday's class, we have handled missing data, right? You know how to handle a missing data. Okay, but that was just a sample that what we have learned yesterday. Okay, actually when you work with a real data type, right, that is where you're gonna get ample experience. Okay, how to handle the missing data. The next step in EDA or exploratory data analysis is to ensure that your data sets data type are correct. Okay, now what is data type? You generally see when you type df.info, what you will get data type, right? Object, int, float, right? Your data type, that is nothing but your data type, whether it is correct. So what I mean to say is, if you have a data type called date and time column and it is showing as object is categorical. Okay, so you need to correct that. Okay, to make it correct, then consistent and reliable. Okay, and uh, how does it help is, say for example you have a column. Okay, a column is stored in the correct format like numeric, categorical, date and time. Okay, and also you will confirm that there are no duplicates, and the text data is consistent. Okay, it is very consistent. And say for example, sometimes no, you see this data type. So just assume this is one of the column of your data, right? Or I can go back to this. Uh, yeah, this one. Okay, now you see I have 5 columns here: name, age, sex, marks, and study hours. What if I have a gap here? Okay, instead of underscore, I have a gap here. Okay, sometimes what happens is if you have unwanted spaces, okay, for example here, okay, marks is there. What if it is there is a space here like this? Okay, so these are all unwanted things. Okay, what happens is when you have this type of data, right, it I mean unwanted or no case mismatch. Say for example, you see N is capital, A is capital, S is capital, M is capital, study and arts is capital. Okay, you have to make sure the consistency is there. Sometimes you will see small letter. Okay, you will see some junk values there, so you need to correct that. Okay, then only when after you finish all these 10 steps in EDA, and then you will send your data to the next level, that is the machine learning. What happens is, if you see this inconsistency, right, it will throw an error. Okay, you have to just make sure you follow this. Okay, these are all the steps. Okay, one by one we are going through. Okay, so just make sure the text data is consistent. Okay, like name, headings. Here you see headings looks good. Okay, what if A is lower here, G instead of E you have I. Okay, sometimes they write it down in a actual data. Okay, so that is why we say there should not be no case mismatch, unwanted space, or mixed labels. Okay, mixed labels. For example, I have a sex. What if I will do something like this and I'll say gender? Okay, I'll run this. Okay, now see, this looks very odd, right? This is called mixed labels. Okay, I want to clear this. So what I'll do is either I'll remove this one and I'll say G capital, something like this. It looks good. Okay, there's just an example I want to give you. Okay, so and why does it matter? Okay, why does it matter? One minute, I'll just mark down this and I'll add it here. Okay, so if you see, why does it matter is wrong data type. If you have a wrong data, for example, here you see 23, it is a numeric number, but is it in quotes? What does that means? Indicates it's a string, stored as string instead of integer. Okay, you have to be very careful when you inspect your data. Just make sure the numeric are not in the form of string. Okay, quotation means, quotes means string. Okay, prevents numerical operation like mean or correlation. When you say, for example, age is there and it is all quotes, there are 10 rows, and when you do a mean or statistical imputation on that column, it will ignore, it will, Python will think it's a string because it is in quote, and then it will not follow the not work on the operation. Okay, inconsistent categories. Okay, male, you see, M small, M capital, M. Okay, these are just an example I want to show. Causes duplicate categories, wrong grouping. Yeah, this is the correct word, wrong grouping. Okay, invalidate. Now again, quote, anything that is in quote, it will consider as a string, simple. Okay, so it will not perform any time based analysis, it will throw an error, data not found or data not compiled, or some error you will get in Python when you compile this one. Duplicate records, same rows appearing twice. Okay, same rows are appearing twice. Okay, inflates count, yes, that is correct, inflates your count. Skew results will vary. So what is the outcome of this is correct data type and consistency are foundation for accurate analysis. Okay, that is what I want to mention here. I'll just write it down. Correct consistency are foundation of accurate analysis. Okay, okay, so this is the outcome. What we gonna learn? Okay, correct data type and concept foundation of accurate analysis. If you have all this type of data, if it is not properly treated, definitely it will, you will not get a correct analysis. Okay, so I have already copied a sample data. Okay, sample data set. Okay, I have name, age, sex, join date. Okay, now you see carefully, I have put all these things in quotation, quotes, single quotes, and here also male, you see here pattern, male, small, female, female, male. Okay, so and age, this all code, it will stored as strings. What I did this to understand. Okay, now you see all these things are coming as an object. You know, this is a numeric. First one is correct, object. Amit, Priya, Rohan, Sneha, name. Okay, age, it should not come as strong, it should come as int. Third one is category sex. Okay, this is object. Okay, but here you see some discrepancy in the this one. Okay, what do we call labels? Okay, values, label values, mixed label values here. Male, M is capital, female, male, male, male. Okay, so we have to correct this. We'll see how to correct uh, these things. Okay, So first thing first, what we're going to do is we'll pick age, okay, age column, okay, and we'll convert all these things into integer. Right now it is in string. So how do we do that? We'll define our df square. Okay, here what is the column name? Age. Okay, age equals df. Again, we'll write it down age. Okay, here we will use a function called uh, why the drop down is not coming? Yeah, as as type. Okay, this is the function we'll use as type function, and you will mention as int. That's it. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, now if I run df info again, here let's see whether it has converted and corrected the age column. Now you see integer. Okay, so this is our first column. Okay, if you want to see the data, uh, df. Okay, you can see the data. Okay, it looks normal. Right now if you see this, it looks good, like a date and uh, month and column. You can see here there is a backslash, then there is a hyphen here. Okay, incorrect data. So we will learn how to correct the other columns as well. Okay, now what we'll see is we will convert the dates. Okay, so we'll use df. What is the column name? Join date. Just copy this. Equals. Okay, I will use something called PD. PD is nothing but pandas. Dot. I'll use something called to date time function. Okay, the first one. Okay, I'll open close. Here inside I'll say I'll copy this df. Okay, you need to mention the column name, which is join date. Okay, and then comma. Then we will say day first is equal to 2. These are all the parameters, guys. Okay, if you go to pandas.to underscore date time function in your documentation, you will see whatever we are typing there. Okay, it's nothing new. You go and you can check the parameter. Okay, what are the parameters you can pass. And okay, why error is not coming? Okay, error is equal to queers. Coerce. Okay. Okay. So what it will do is day first is equal to true. Now, if you see the data here, okay. Now you have this data. Okay. 25, 3, 25. Okay. So this is March, Jan, Feb, March. Okay. So it will interpret this value as 15, 3, 25 as March 15th. Okay. Not 3rd of May. Okay. March 15. Okay. Or this one. Okay, this is 15. So it will not treat this as 3rd of March. It will say 15th of sorry, March 15. Okay, so I'll convert this, then you will understand. Okay, so I've done this. Let me. Okay. Now you see date time 64. Okay, so it has converted all our dates, okay, in a proper format. Okay, now what we'll do is we have another column where we see some inconsistency with the sex column where we have the headings as inconsistent, the first letter, okay, the labels. Okay, M is capital, F is small, here M is small. So how do we correct this? Okay, so what we say, when what we call here is uh, ensuring ensuring consistency in categorical data. Okay, how do we do that? So normalize text case. Okay, so for example, df. Uh, so what is the column we are going to treat is df sex. Okay, is equal to just copy again, same thing. Okay, df dot sex dot, we have something called string. Okay, string dot, we have lower. Okay, lower or upper you can use. Okay, lower, it's a function, and then strip. Okay, this is the function we have to use. Okay, why we are using strip? Because if there is any space after quotation, the quotes, right? If you see here, okay, so there is a space. If there is anything that we can remove extra spaces. Okay, now I'll type df dot info. Okay, now this will be object only, but you need to check your data. Okay, how the data is looking, df. Now you see all these categorical data, we have converted that into a lowercase. Now this looks good. Okay, this looks good. Okay, why we are getting that here, NAT, not a table. Actually, we can. Okay, df. Okay, now what we'll do is we gonna again we have to check the duplicates also. Okay, so what are the duplicates that we see here? We see unique name here, but you see Amit is repeated 2020 mail. This one is a duplicate entry. Okay, so this one identical. So how do we drop? We'll say df dot drop. 1 minute. Why the yeah, drop duplicates function? Okay, duplicate function, and then I'll say in place is equal to true. Okay, if I type now df. Okay, now you see Amit entry is only one time. It has dropped the other Amit before fourth statement. Okay, now I want to format this date. Uh, where is the original data here? Okay, so let me check what is the function date format. Pandas, yeah, this is the one. Okay, so always see this is the same thing we use pandas dot to date time. Okay, but I forgot the arguments here. Okay, these are all called the arguments. Okay, so day first, year first, false. Okay, day first means the day will come in a first and then month and year. Okay, so if you want the year first, like YYMMDD format, you can use the year first is equal to 2. Okay, UTC. Okay, what is this UTC? Uh, Controls time zone. Okay, so if you mention some time zone, if you have a date and time together, and it will come in a proper format. Okay, where is the other argument I want to see is origin Unix, cache is equal to true, unit is equal to unit. Where is unit string exact unit? The true. Uh, so this is the format. This is different format. You can see you have a date, timestamp, and this is a time zone. 5:30 is nothing but your Indian time zone. Okay. Uh, PD dot to date time. The format he is mentioning here. Okay. Uh, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in yeah DDR. Okay. Unit string operation. Time delta argument. Let me see the example. Time delta 1 day 6. This is there. Time delta. Okay. It gives you the 0 days. Blah blah blah. Okay. Date range. Time delta. Okay. Now I'm interested in why this data with a slash is converted into NAT. Okay. 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 I'll just where is the join date? Yeah, this one, right? So day first is equal to true. Df is equal to join date to date time is equal to coerc. But why these are missing? That is 1 minute. I'll run this. I'll add. Okay, here also we are getting that 1 minute. I think I made some mistakes here. 1 minute. I'll just correct this. Uh, this one. See here we are getting right. Where is the join date? Convert all your dates. This is correct only. To date frame. Date. Sorry. PD dot to underscore data. This is correct only. Okay. So this is we are getting nat. Why nat? For 1 minute. I need to figure it out. Day first. Just change it to false. Mm, join underscore date. Join underscore date. Okay. So this is not a problem with Python. Okay. There is something I'm missing. At 1 minute. NAT. I'm seeing first time, guys. This one NAT. Okay. What is NAT? Let me just check. NAT pandas. Not a time. Okay. I'm working with data, date, time, date, and pandas. Not a time. It's just similar to NAN, not a number, but instead of representing missing numerical value, NAN represents missing and valid date time value. Okay. Pandas dot nat. Pandas dot nat alias of nat. One minute. I think we have done something wrong here or there. One, two. So here it is coming. This is age info. Join date. Here we are getting. Now I am converting join date ed.to date time. Instead of date time, yeah. Now you see two are coming, and for this we are not getting right. Uh, this is equal to 2. Okay, now we are getting this. Why we are not getting for these two? What is the format for? This is for Priya and Rohan. So Priya and Rohan. Okay, first, second, third. One minute, I'll change this format. Okay, let me change this and see if that is fixing. Okay, so you see here, day first. Uh, 1 minute, guys. I think some code has maybe it has I mean, uh, okay, but just what is the format? Create datetime module, datetime tutorial. Okay, so this is getting. I don't want this. No, this is not what I want. Let me check if I can get something for the timestamp of day of the year, day of the year. Hold. Okay, day B stands for what? Uh, month, day, D. Okay, this is not what I want. Okay, but anyway, guys, sorry, I think I'm getting some error here. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Okay, why we are getting NAT here. Okay, I need to check maybe this command that we are trying here, right? Maybe this I have to check in the internet whether something got depreciated, okay, or the command I have to look at the documentation part. Okay, I don't want to waste your time, so I have ignore also raise exception. Yeah, here you see. So if your data is something like this, it will be passed as like this. If I make it true, okay, day first is equal to true is not strict, but it will appear to parse. Okay, year first. Now you see year is first. Okay, I'll remove this one. So something, some formatting is not correct here. Okay, I have to look at this because I use this often. I use the same command to date time. Sorry, to date stamp or index. Okay, to date time. I use this often, but I never got this message. Exact no default unique null format is equal to. Let me check format. What are the options we have? Format is equal to string default. So example, the string time to parse time example is this. Okay, and how do I pass this? Format colon. No, you can see here, even if I say day, month, and year is first, months are coming, okay? But why this data is missing? I need to figure it out. Okay. Anyway, I'll not take much time here. Okay. So this is the overall summary about data consistency. This will come, okay, when you are working with production data, uh, uh, where you will see some discrepancy with your data, right? These type of issues will come. Okay, so don't get panic. Okay, you have to go see read the documentation page here, so you get ample knowledge here. But sometimes you have to search something, okay, and look for correct content that you're looking for. Okay, always go to this pandas documentation page, okay, whenever you want to read. But this I will figure it out today or tomorrow. Okay, and then we'll continue tomorrow's class. Okay, so tomorrow what we'll learn is not this one, EDA. Okay, so tomorrow we'll learn about the descriptive statistics. Okay, I know we have done this, but we'll just go through it in a order. Okay, one, two, three, four, and this one also date and time. I'll figure it out why it is not working. Could be some settings or syntax. Okay, syntax means the parameter that we are passing this line inside, right? So there is something missing. Okay, so I've just gone through, but I'm not able to find out. Okay, I need some time because I have written this in a production box, a production in at my work. So I'll check what code has changed from this to that. Okay, and then we'll correct it. Okay, okay, guys. You can stop the recording, Saib. Okay, and you can share the recording. Tomorrow we'll cover this. Just